The rationalisation conversation. I'm not talking about sacking public servants for the joy of it, but I'm saying before you increase taxes on the populace, wherever they happen to be, you have to justify that there's a need to increase that revenue because of the increased expenditure. And in Queensland, before we even got into coronavirus, the Auditor General was out there saying, you've got massive problems with the way you have structured this budget. And I bet not a single public servant has lost their gig in Queensland.
Well, look, good point. And another point I'd like to point out is that in Queensland right now, we are not going to have a budget this year. So Jackie Trad has announced that there won't be a full budget in Queensland. We're the only state in this nation that won't be handing down a budget this year.
In an election year? In
an election year. We've only got 5 months before the next election, and Jackie Trad and Annastacia Palaszczuk have put the state into such disrepair before coronavirus. Who knows what it's going to look like? We know people are hurting out there. They can't afford their rates to go up. They can't afford any more taxes. So we need a budget so we can scrutinise it, so we can see what where the money is going and what it's being used for, because quite frankly, that's exactly what you have a budget, the opposition can scrutinise it, we then have the estimates process. But here in Queensland, Annastacia Palaszczuk, very drunk on power and has decided doesn't need to have a budget. It is completely unacceptable, and I'm going to continue to pressure the government until they give a full budget before the next state election. Paul, it's unacceptable.
It's outrageous. I mean, literally going for a job application with sort of the CV kind of barely filled out. All right, quick break, back with more.
Hang on a second, guys. I mean, are you outraged that the federal government has pushed their budget back to October?
They'll have one this year. We're talking they're not having one at all, Nicholas.
Queensland's just doing the same thing that every other government in the country
they're not having one at all.
One budget for the
That's because the election's in October, Paul and Deb. I don't know if you know, Deb, but you're going to the people in October, and like every other government in Australia, the budgets have been pushed back to October.
Fair dinkum. Honestly, the idea that the government doesn't produce a budget in an election year before the people have the opportunity to know what pain might be coming as a result of the decisions that they have made in lockdown and the excessive nature of some of those lockdown, honestly, good luck.